What's up, runners? What are the best exercises for running pain free? So, if you ever hit the trails, the pavement, and you felt stress on your knees, your hamstrings, or your ankle, I've been there. And trust me, I know how frustrating those injuries can be, but it doesn't have to be this way. Today, I'll be sharing the 10 of the best exercises to strengthen your body, improve your running performance, and keep those injuries at bay. As someone who's experienced the highs and lows of running myself. So running isn't just about, going out for a run. Yes, you have to run if you want to be good at running, but it's also about, being well-rounded in the sport of running because running is a sport. You want to be able to have good strength, power, and still stability is key to helping keep your body injury resistant and performing at its best. If you guys who don't know who I am, my name is Dr. Ray Peralta. I'm a run coach and physical therapist for almost 10 years now. I've been helping runners rehab from injuries and get stronger and run their races, whether they're trying to hit a PR or maybe run their first marathon. So today I'm going to break down the different exercises that incorporates your full body. I'm going to break it down into separate sections here. So you'll learn, hey, what you should be doing in terms of exercise selection, how it benefits you, and stick with me, you'll learn that how you could develop a good routine based off this. So, as a general rule, one of the key things when you're running is also making sure that you do strength training. So, these exercises I'm talking about are strength training exercises. So, let's go first with lower body. So, some of the best lower body strength exercises. One is the squat, and now there's different variations of the squat. You got your standard two-legged squat. There's the body weight version, but then there's the weighted versions, right? The barbell back squat, front squat, kettlebell squats. There's different ways to add weights, of course. But for runners, I actually recommend, once you are past like a, intermediate stage, right? If you're a complete beginner and you're brand new to strength training, stick with the basic two-legged squat. But if you are past that beginner phase and you're a bit more advanced, maybe you're intermediate or advanced with lifting, because lifting its own or strength training is its own separate sport as well. You start doing a Bulgarian split squats, right? Because if you're a complete beginner, the Bulgarian split squat may be just way too challenging. You're losing your balance all over the place. But as you get more advanced with strength training, you'll be able to do the Bulgarian split squat with good form. I'm a big fan for Bulgarian split squat for runners. One, because a single leg movement, because running is you're not jumping like a kangaroo on two legs as you're running it. You're actually, bounding from, you're hopping on one leg to the other. And thus, doing single leg work is something I truly recommend. Yes, there's a time and place for two legged work. Of course, like I just talked about, beginner runners doing squats, and even advanced can do squats. But I do like Bulgarian split squats if you had to pick one variation for runners that I really like. Again, because it just targets the quads and glutes and hamstrings in a single leg fashion. It also works on balance and stability to help you be more stable as a runner. And there's different variations where you could do this to hit more quads, hamstrings, or a glute dominant split squat, depending how you lean your body or how you kind of shift your weight onto your toes, your foot. But this is a great exercise that runners can implement. And when you're doing strength training, especially, you're trying to get stronger as a runner, at the very least twice a week. But if you have a lagging area, maybe you notice that your knees are particularly weak, maybe you had a past knee surgery, you keep having a recurring knee injury, you may actually have to do strength exercise, or especially for like the split squat, you may have to do that like 3 times a week, or some type of squat variation, or even 4 times a week. I know some people who strength train, especially if they're recovering from an injury, and oftentimes I recommend this as a physical therapist. Hey, you may have to do 3 or 4 strength workouts a week to build back that injured area. The next strength exercise I like for the lower body is the deadlift. So the deadlift hits that posterior chain, which is the back of your glutes, your hamstrings, low back, and it's really powerful exercise. You could do the standard variation with 2 legs, holding a barbell deadlift, but you could also do the single leg deadlift. I'm a big fan of single leg deadlift. You do body weight or kettlebell. Challenge yourself, stronger glutes and hamstrings. One, it helps prevent you with injury because there's something called the hamstring to quad ratio, and you want that hamstring to be at least 60% as strong or even more in terms of its strength compared to the quadriceps, that muscle in front of your thigh, which will help just your knees stay more stable, decrease like knee injury, even injuries like ACL, as if you have a stronger hamstring to help stabilize there. And this hip hinging pattern can also just make you a better runner as well. So that covers both the deadlift and the single leg deadlift. The other exercise I like is calf raises. So a lot of people don't know this, but the calves are actually a very powerful muscle when it comes to running, both the gastroc and the soleus. So you do your straight-legged calf raise and bent leg calf raise. That will help you strengthen your lower body. And for runners, it's actually a very important muscle because endurance, actually the calf, the gastroc soleus complex, is really important for runners. It varies in terms of activity, but it could be as high as like 50% of the muscle activation in your legs can actually be coming from that gastroc soleus as it's being used for push off and absorbing landing. It's actually a very important muscle to strengthen. And you're like, oh, that seems like common sense, but a lot of people don't, and a lot of runners don't actually do calf raises right, or they may do it like one, measly exercise and just forget about it. No, you should actually make it a part of your lower body strength training. You may again do it 2 times a week or even 3 times a week or more. And if you have very weak ankles or calves, you may have to do this like 3 or 4 times a week. And that's in terms of lower body strength training. And if you're pressed for time, if you're like very busy, you don't have that much time to do like multiple sets, I recommend doing a single set routine, but still picking a weight that you fatigue at about 8 to 12 repetitions, both for the squats, the deadlifts, and the calf raises. Right? You should still be getting tired. If you have time and you prefer multiple sets, you're welcome to do that. But as a general rule, especially for people who are busy professionals, they don't have that much time to be dedicating hours in the gym. Do a single set routine, and you get the benefits of strength training without also overly exhausting yourself, where you don't have enough energy just to go on your runs. So I'm a part of the team single set to muscle fatigue. The next type of style of exercise you want to do is plyometrics, or some people call power training. So this is also a category of like jump training. So box jumps is a really great movement to do. These are explosive movements, helps build up your fast twitch muscle fibers, and improves your stride, improves your ability to just handle impact loading. So with running, every time your foot hits the ground, that's anywhere from 2 to 3 times body weight. Right. So if you're like a 150-pound runner, that's anywhere from like 300 to like 450 pounds of force going through your single leg with each foot strike. And imagine you're doing that for like a marathon, right? You can see how that impact adds up over time, leading to like knee injuries and shin splints, Achilles tendinopathy. So doing box jumps can help your body absorb landing, so it's better able to handle impact loading, and this could help you prevent future injury. Other type of drills I like are speed ladder drills, where you do different drills. You've probably seen maybe football players do a similar type of drills. So as a runner, you could definitely steal an exercise from them. The ladder drills, and there's also bounding drills where you could kind of jump on a single leg. A lot of sprinters may do, or long jumpers do this type of drill where they kind of jump across a field, bounding on a single leg, and then maybe they'll alternate legs. Think of like the Super Mario jump, or like Mario jumps. This is a great exercise, helps with coordination, stride length, and just that springy, elastic feeling when you're running. So this also has a good impact, a direct correlation to improving your running economy. Both doing strength and power exercises, again, will make you more explosive and also more resilient. So one, you're able to generate more force, but also recover between your run workouts as well. So you're able to recover from potential injuries. So next area of the body or type of exercise I like for runners to do is core stability. Core strength is very important because your posture dictates the rest of your form, right? So if you have crappy posture, maybe you're slouching, that could lead to issues downstream, like in your hips, your knees, your ankles. So having a good core, making sure you're kind of a nice stable, not that you're rigid like a robot, but you're still able to keep a firm, confident, tall stride, and have a good, strong core is very important. Not just for looking good, but also for running form. So one of the best exercises is planks and the plank variations. Front plank, side plank, plank with leg lifts, plank with arm lifts. The same thing with side plank with leg lift. You could do like side plank with hip abduction, side plank with hip flexion. There's different variations of planks. You could definitely target ones that maybe you also have weak glutes. So you combine the side plank with the hip abduction, strengthen your glutes, or hip extension with front plank. And there's different progressions for your different fitness levels, which are, beginner, intermediate, advanced. So you could do, plank on a unstable surface, like on an Eric's pad or a Bosu ball. Another good core exercise is the Pallof press. You could do this with bands, a cable. This is an underrated move, but it trains your body to resist rotation. There are actually some rotational forces or side-to-side forces that happens when you're running. And you also want to be able to resist that force so you can stay going straight ahead running. And having a strong core helps stabilize your spine and pelvis for a more smooth and efficient stride. And this will help you prevent future injury. And then I kind of hinted at this in the core section here, but also glute and hip strengthening. right? Glutes are very important. And if you're a distance runner, you also need a very strong hip abductors. There's going to be the glute med and glute min. So the glute medius and glute minimus. And in TFL also there's a hip abductor as well, but you want to do the exercise to strengthen those hip abductors. So lateral band walks or monster walks are very important. You can also do just pure hip abduction with a cable or a strong resistance band, or like in the side plank, like I mentioned earlier. These are very important muscles, especially if you're a marathon runner or distance runner. And for you know, new to running, a distance runner is like anyone who runs over uh, 1.5 mile or like 2 mile run and above. Like if you're, some coaches may argue, oh, a middle distance, but if you're running like 2, 3 miles or like a 5K distance and above, you're going to go right into middle distance category there, especially at the 10K. I mean, after the 10K, you're definitely in the distance category. Okay. Another hip exercise I like is hip thrust, or you got glute bridges and hip thrust. Strong glutes are very important for running, and they're also great for sprinters. So sprinters rely more on the glute max, which is like hip extension pattern. But distance runners also need glute max as well. It'll help you develop your speed. Also helps decrease common injuries like the IT band syndrome. So hip thrusts are a must. You could do hip thrust with body weight, then hip thrust with barbell, and a single leg hip thrust. Again, there's multiple variations to strengthen that glute max muscle and the hip extension pattern. Cool. Next section is upper body. You also want to strengthen your upper body. A lot of runners think it's just about the lower body, but your arm swing matters too. So making sure your shoulders are in a nice tight position. Again, not overly rigid, but they're confident, they're stable. A great exercise to help with your shoulder and upper back posture is bent over rows. A lot of people don't think upper body is critical, but it is. A strong upper back keeps you, again, helps you stay upright. It also helps you decrease neck pain. A lot of times people, believe it or not, you can get neck pain when you run, especially if you run with your neck far forward. If you work a desk job and your neck's always forward, you got that text neck, your head is always inclined forward. Doing bent over rows can help your upper back posture and also help decrease that risk of like developing potential upper back issues or even neck pain or shoulder pain. Again, very rare, but it can have. I've actually developed shoulder pain myself just because I had crappy posture, and doing bent over rows can be beneficial. Another exercise, obviously, you got your chest press and a pushing exercise like a push up. So push up and chest press, a bench press, excuse me, can be beneficial, and it's also called chest press depending what region you're from. So you could do that on a machine. You could do barbell bench press, kettlebell, or straight push ups, banded push ups. So you also want to develop the pushing exercise as well. It just helps you, again, with your upper body, lung capacity as well. So your lungs have like more room to kind of move and breathe. And this can actually develop to help with better posture while you're running and making you more efficient. So now you're able to last longer when you're running and also recover quicker between runs. And like I mentioned previously, you could do a single set to routine, a single set to muscle fatigue or failure, and this will help you, again, strengthen in a time-efficient manner so you're not spending hours and hours in the gym. So consistency is key, all right? If this is your brand new to strength training as a runner, maybe just start like just 2 strength workouts a week, right? And if you have like a lagging body part, maybe you have like weak knees or weak ankles, you could up that to 3 or 4 times a week. Or maybe you notice that for your body, you just benefit from 3 or 4 strength workouts a week. That's fine too. You're going to have to find what works best for you, but at the very minimum, at least 2 strength workouts a week. Now, if you're tapering for a run, right, let's say you have a marathon come up, yeah, you could taper down to 1, or like the race week, have like no strength training, just purely, focus on just running for a marathon taper. But aside from those kind of special race taper situations, at least have 2 strength workouts a week. So if you found this helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more easy to follow tips for runners. And if you're looking for how to integrate like the best exercises for your run plan in your specific situation, maybe you're training for a fitness test or maybe you're an ultra runner, check out my free training. I'm going to link it here in the show notes below. And if you're really gung-ho about working together, you could also book a call off that same link.